Hey, you're here. That's good. The world's gone quiet for the night, which is exactly where we need to be for this one. Listen, there's a specific kind of cold in old monasteries. Stone cold. The kind that seeps up through floors that were laid down 800 years ago, through walls thick enough to survive everything from Viking raids to the Black Death. You can almost smell it through time. Beeswax from altar candles, wet wool, that particular mustiness of ancient parchment. Somewhere in the distance, if you really listen, the ghost of a bell. Here's the thing about medieval monastic life. It was brutally, relentlessly structured. We're talking about men who woke up at 2 a.m, every morning, for decades. No snooze button, no weekends, just bells and psalms and silence. Be glad you're under a duvet and not sleeping on a straw mattress in a stone dormitory where your breath freezes. Before we step into that world, real talk. If this kind of content works for you, go ahead and like the video. Subscribe if you want more of these late-night journeys through history. Otherwise, just settle in and let it wash over you. Drop your sleep station in the comments if you want, where you're listening from and what time it is there. It's always interesting to see who's awake at these hours, scattered across the world. Now,
are you all right, brother?
Dim the lights, maybe get that fan running for some soft background hum,
It's quiet.
and let's slip back through the centuries to a life measured entirely in prayer. Cold. That's the first thing. Not the bell, that comes second. The cold hits you while you're still half dreaming, seeping up through the straw mattress and thin wool blanket. Your body knows before your mind does. Then the bell. 2 a.m, Vigils. The brass clapper strikes once, twice, keeps going. Brother Porter's already up, has been for 10 minutes, pulling that rope in the tower. The sound crashes through the dormitory like a physical thing. 40 monks in narrow wooden beds, all waking at once. Nobody groans, nobody complains. You don't, because you've been doing this for 6 years and your body just does it now. Automatic, Pavlovian. Your feet find the floor. Bare stone, smooth from centuries of other feet, cold enough to ache. The monk in the bed to your left, Brother Thomas, is already standing. You can hear him in the darkness, the rustle of his habit. Nobody speaks. The great silence started at Compline last night, won't lift until after prime in the morning. Hours from now. There's a rhythm to this. Sit up, straw crackling under you. Stand. Find your sandals by touch, wooden soles, leather straps worn soft. The scapula goes on over your head, the hood. Everything's where you left it because everything's always where you left it. Routine eliminates choice. Choice eliminates sleep. 40 monks moving in the dark. Shuffle of feet. Someone coughs, tries to muffle it. The dormitory smells like unwashed bodies and straw, and that particular mustiness of men sleeping in close quarters without much ventilation. Medieval hygiene wasn't really a thing. You bathed maybe 4 times a year, and brother, you can tell. The stairs down are worn in the middle, bowed from centuries of use. You keep one hand on the wall, the stone's so cold it burns. Your fingers trace the same path they've traced 1,000 times before. Down, down. 17 steps, you've counted. The cloister's worse. Open to the sky, and it's January. The year is 1347. Not that you're really keeping track of years anymore. Time moves differently here. It's measured in offices, in psalms, in the slow progression of seasons. Right now it's winter. The stars are out, hard and bright and impossibly distant. Your breath comes out white. The fountain in the cloister garth is frozen solid. The chapel door stands open. Candlelight spills out, warm and golden. Brother Sacrist lit them an hour ago. He rises at 1, prepares the altar, makes ready. Every role is assigned. Every task is someone's burden and someone's purpose. You file in. The chapel's marginally warmer. Body heat from 40 men helps, and the candles. Not warm exactly, less brutally cold. The stalls are arranged in 2 rows facing each other, and you know your place. Third from the left, junior choir. You've stood here for 6 years. The wood's worn smooth where your hands rest. Wait. Everyone stands. The abbot enters last. Father Benedict, old now, his back curved like a question mark. He doesn't move fast anymore, but nobody rushes him. He takes his place at the head, and the office begins. Domine, labia mea aperis. His voice carries, strong despite his age. Lord, open my lips. Et os meum annunciabit laudem tuam. 40 voices answer as one, and my mouth shall declare your praise. The psalms begin. You know them all by heart. Psalm 3, Psalm 94. The Latin flows without thought. Your mouth shapes words while your mind drifts. You're tired. You're always tired. 2 hours of sleep, then up for vigils, then maybe an hour and a half back in bed before Lord's. This is the life you chose, technically. You were 14 when your father sent you here, the 3rd son with no inheritance coming. That was more his choice than yours, if we're being honest. But here you are. The chant rises and falls, antiphonal singing, one side, then the other. The rhythm of it is hypnotic. The candlelight makes shadows dance on the ancient walls, on the painted ceiling where angels with 2 serious faces gaze down at you. Some of the paint's flaking. You've watched it peel for years. Your knees ache. Standing for an hour, sitting for psalms, standing for canticles, up, down. The cold creeps into your joints. Brother Martin, he's 72, can barely stand anymore. He leans heavy on his stool. Nobody says anything. You just keep chanting. The thing about Vigils is it's long. 12 psalms, 3 readings, hymns, prayers. In summer it's shorter. In winter it stretches. The darkness outside stays complete. Through the high windows you can see nothing but black and stars. Your mind wanders. Historians argue about whether the medieval church used these long offices to keep monks busy, or because prayer itself was considered work. The Benedictines believed in ora et labora, pray and work. This is both. Your voice is labor. Your attention, keeping it focused on God rather than on your freezing feet or your growling stomach, is work. The readings are from Job tonight. Brother Lecter has a good voice, clear. He reads about suffering, about God speaking from the whirlwind. It's appropriate. Outside, the wind's picking up. You can hear it now, howling around the chapel walls. Finally, the closing prayers. The abbot blesses you all. Benedicamus Domino. Let us bless the Lord. Deo gratias. Thanks be to God. You file out. Same order, same silence. Back through the cloister. The wind cuts right through your habit now, merciless. Back up the 17 steps. Back to your bed. 1 hour and 20 minutes until Lord's. You lie down. The straw's cold now. All your body heat leaked out during the office. You pull the blanket up. Close your eyes. Sleep comes fast when you're this tired. It always does. The bell again. You are deep under this time, dreaming about something green. Fields maybe. Summer. The sound drags you up and out. Lord's. 3:30 in the morning. Still dark. Same routine. Feet to floor, sandals, scapula. The dormitory's quieter this time. Everyone's more awake or more exhausted. Hard to tell which. Brother Thomas is moving slower. He's not young either, maybe 45, which here might as well be ancient. Down the stairs, the cloister. Your breath still fogs. The stars have shifted position, but they're still out. Still cold and distant. No moon tonight. Just darkness and the candles spilling from the chapel door. Inside, your stool. Stand. Wait. The abbot enters. Domine, labia mea aperis. Et os meam annunciabit laudem tuam. Lord's is the morning office, technically, though morning's still hours away. It's named for the Laudate Psalms, Psalms 148, 149, 150. Praise Psalms, the ones that tell everything from stars to sea monsters, to kings, to old men, to praise the Lord. You sing them. Your voice blends with 40 others. The strange thing about chanting the same words every single day is that they stop being words. They become sounds, patterns, breathing. You've chanted these psalms roughly 2,000 times. 6 years, every single day, no breaks. The Latin's worn smooth in your mouth, like the stone steps are worn smooth under your feet. But sometimes, rarely, a phrase will surface, will mean something again. Tonight it's, De profundis clamavi ad te, Domine. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord. You're bone-tired, you're cold. You're 20 years old, and you'll do this until you die. The depths feel pretty accurate right now. The chapel's warming up, marginally. Body heat and candle heat, and the simple fact of being enclosed. You can almost feel your fingers again. Almost. Brother Celera stumbles during a response. Just misses a word, catches himself. Nobody reacts. You all pretend not to notice. Grace is important here. You'll all stumble eventually. Sleep deprivation does that. The hymn for Lords is ancient, probably older than the monastery. The melody's plainsong, unadorned. Just voices rising and falling. No instruments, the Cistercians don't allow them. Nothing fancy, nothing decorative. Just stone and voices and God, theoretically listening. Through the high windows, imperceptibly, the quality of darkness changes. Not lighter yet, just different. The first suggestion that dawn exists somewhere beyond the horizon. You've been awake for 2 hours. You have 17 more to go before you sleep again. Reading from the Gospel. Brother Lector again. He's good at this, trained for it. Something from Matthew about lilies of the field. How they don't labour or spin. You think about the bean field you'll be digging in later. About the wool habit you're wearing that someone definitely laboured and spun. The irony isn't lost on you. The Benedictus, Zechariah's canticle, said every morning for how long? Centuries, since Benedict wrote the rule in the 6th century. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he has visited and redeemed his people. Has he though? You're standing in a freezing chapel at 4 in the morning. Redemption feels theoretical, but you sing it anyway. That's the thing. Belief isn't really required. Obedience is. You promised obedience when you took your vows. Stability, conversion of life, and obedience. Stay put, keep changing, and do what you're told. Simple, not easy. The office ends, but this time you don't go back to bed. Lord's is followed immediately by Prime, the first daytime office. You stay standing. Some of the older monks sit for the gap. You're young enough that sitting feels like weakness. 15 minutes. The candles burn lower. Brother Sacrist moves along the walls, snuffing some, lighting new ones. The smell of beeswax and smoke. Your stomach rumbles, quiet enough that maybe nobody heard. Maybe. You haven't eaten since yesterday's dinner. A thin soup, bread, some cheese. That was 12 hours ago. You won't eat again until after the morning work period, after terce. 6 more hours. Medieval monks fasted a lot. Not the fun kind of intermittent fasting people do now. The kind where you're just genuinely, constantly hungry. Prime begins. Deus in adiutorium meum intende. God, come to my assistance. You could use some assistance. Your legs are shaking, just a little. Fatigue and low blood sugar and the cold. This office is shorter. 3 psalms, a reading, prayers. The sky through the windows is definitely lighter now. Not dawn yet, that pre-dawn grey. The stars are fading. And then, at the end of Prime, something changes. The great silence ends. The abbot speaks, his voice hoarse from chanting. Let us go forth in peace. In the name of Christ, Amen. You can talk now, technically. Nobody does though, not immediately. Silence has weight. It's hard to break after hours of it. You file out of the chapel. The cloister's visible now. You can see the arches, the covered walkway, the frozen fountain. Everything's grey and cold and real. The bell rings. Chapter. Daily meeting. Same time, every single day. The chapter house is smaller than the chapel. Stone benches line the walls. There's a lectern at the front for readings, and the abbot's seat, slightly more ornate, which here means it has armrests. Everyone finds their place. You sit. The stone's cold even through 2 layers of wool. Father Benedict stands, clears his throat. "Brothers," he says. His voice is tired. He's been up as long as you have, longer probably. Abbots don't sleep much. The daily reading from the Rule of St. Benedict. You know this by heart too. Today it's from chapter 7 on humility. The first degree of humility is that a man always have the fear of God before his eyes, avoiding all forgetfulness. You've heard this hundreds of times. It doesn't get more encouraging with repetition. Then business. Brother Cellarer reports on provisions. Grain stores are adequate. The winter's been mild enough that they haven't had to slaughter as many animals as usual. Good news, relatively. Brother Infirmarian mentions that Brother Paul is still fevered, needs prayer. Everyone makes a mental note. Brother Guestmaster says a nobleman staying in the guest house wants to attend the offices, permission granted. Now, the important part. Confession of faults. Public, communal. Brother Richard stands. He's young, younger than you. "Father Abbot, brothers, I accuse myself of breaking the silence. I spoke unnecessarily in the refectory yesterday." "What did you say?" the abbot asks. "I asked Brother Andrew to pass the salt." Someone makes a sound, almost a laugh, quickly suppressed. The abbot's face doesn't change. "Did you use the proper sign for salt?" "I forgot, Father." "Then remember, that's why we have signs. Penance. Recite the Miserere 3 times before sleep tonight." Brother Richard bows, sits. It's gentle as punishments go. Some orders were brutal about infractions. The Cistercians, under a good abbot, were firm but not cruel. You've been lucky. You've heard stories. This is where sign language comes in. The Cistercians developed hundreds of signs because talking was forbidden most hours. You could ask for bread by making a circle with your thumbs and forefingers, the shape of a loaf. Fish was a hand waving like a tail. Salt was 3 fingers pinched together, sprinkling motion. Wine was a finger stirring an invisible cup. Some historians think it was one of the first formal sign languages in Europe. Practical necessity breeding innovation. A few more confessions. Brother Andrew admits to oversleeping, missing the first psalm at Vigils. Brother Martin confesses to anger. He broke a hoe in the garden, frustration getting the better of him. Small sins, daily failures. The abbot assigns small penances. Extra psalms, fasting, vigils, nothing severe. Then he speaks about virtue, about patience. His voice is soft, paternal. These are his sons, in a way. He chose this burden, became responsible for 40 souls. That's heavy. You can see it in his face, the weight of it. The meeting ends. Let us pray. Everyone kneels on the stone floor. The Our Father, a blessing. Done. Out into the cloister. The sky's definitely lighter now. You can see colours. Grey stone, dark wood. The green of winter grass in the garth. Dawn's close. Terce is next, the 3rd hour. But before that, work. Morning labour, 2 hours of it. The abbot assigns tasks using signs and gestures and the occasional whispered word. You're on garden duty, again, always. You head to the workshed, get your spade. The wooden handle's worn smooth, fits your palm like it was made for you. Maybe it was. Brother Carpenter makes tools for specific people, specific hands. It's all about efficiency, about making the work sustainable. The bean field is behind the monastery, 1/4 acre maybe. The ground's partially frozen, but workable. You're supposed to turn the soil, add some of the composted manure from the stables, prepare for spring planting. It's January. Spring's theoretical, but the work doesn't wait for optimal conditions. Brother Thomas works beside you. He's assigned to the garden too. You work in parallel, 10 feet apart. Nobody talks. The silence continues, technically. The great silence ended, but casual conversation is still discouraged. Speech is for necessity only. Spade into earth, lean on it, turn. The soil breaks, heavy and dark, again and again. The rhythm's meditative if you let it be. If you don't think too hard about the fact that you'll do this for 2 hours, that your hands will blister, that you're already tired and hungry and cold. The sun breaks the horizon, finally. Light spills across the field, golden and pale. It doesn't warm anything yet, but the promise is there. The temperature might climb above freezing by midday. Might. Your breath still fogs. Sweat starts. Even in cold, labor makes you sweat. The wool habit sticks to your back. Itchy, always itchy. Wool underwear, wool tunic, wool scapula. It's warm when it's dry and miserable when it's wet, and you cannot escape it. Brother Thomas hits a rock. You hear the clang of spade on stone. He bends, digs it out with his hands, tosses it toward the wall where rocks get piled. He doesn't complain, just keeps digging. Birds are waking up, crows mostly. Their cawing echoes across the valley. There's beauty here if you look for it. The monastery sits in a valley. Cistercians always built in valleys, near water. The river's a 1/4 mile away. You can't see it from here, but you know it's there. You've walked it dozens of times. The work continues. Spade, turn, spade, turn. Your shoulders start to ache. The muscles between your spine and shoulder blades, specifically. That's always where it hits first. You're strong from years of this, but strength doesn't prevent soreness, just delays it. An hour passes. The sun climbs. The light changes from gold to white. Colder light somehow. January sun is thin, doesn't help much. The bell rings, terse, time to stop. You lean on your spade, breathing hard. Look at what you've accomplished. Maybe a 1/4 of the field turned. Tomorrow you'll do another 1/4. The day after, another. By the end of the week, it'll be done. Then something else will need doing. There's always something else. You put the spade back in the shed. Your hands are numb and dirty. There's a basin of water outside the chapel. You dip your hands in, rinse them. The water's ice cold, makes your fingers ache worse. But clean hands for the office, that's the rule. Into the chapel, your stall. Stand. The abbot enters. Deus, in adiutorium meum intende. Domine, ad adjuvandum me festina. God, come to my assistance. Lord, make haste to help me. You could really use some haste right about now. Terce is brief. 3 psalms, a hymn, prayers. The 3rd hour, 9 in the morning by modern reckoning, though nobody here thinks in those terms. It's just terse. The office after prime, before sext. The chapel's warmer now. Morning sun through the windows. You can almost feel it on your face during the psalms. Almost. Brother Cantor leads the chant today. The abbot's voice is failing, needs rest. Brother Cantor has a beautiful voice, pure and clear. If he'd been born wealthy, he might have been a cathedral singer. Instead, he's here, singing for God and 40 monks in a valley nobody visits. The office ends, and now, finally, breakfast. Except the Cistercians don't call it that. It's just the morning meal. 2 meals a day in winter, and that's it. Breakfast isn't really a medieval concept, not the way we think of it. The refectory is adjacent to the cloister. Long wooden tables, benches on either side. There's a pulpit at one end, raised up, with a seat for the reader. Everyone files in. You find your place. Same spot every day. Across from Brother Thomas, next to Brother Andrew. The abbot stands at the head table, says grace. Long grace in Latin, thanking God for his bounty. You're not sure bounty is the right word for what's about to be served, but theology isn't about accuracy, apparently. Everyone sits. Wooden benches, wooden tables. Everything's wood or stone. Those are basically your options. The food comes. Brother Cook and his assistants, they've been up since before Vigils preparing this. Bread, hard and dark. Rye bread mostly. Wheat's expensive. A bowl of porridge. Oats cooked with water, a little salt. That's it. No butter, no honey. The Cistercians rejected those as luxuries. In summer you might get vegetables. In winter you get oats. You eat with a wooden spoon. No forks. Forks won't be common in Europe for centuries. Just a spoon and your fingers. The bread's tough. You dip it in the porridge to soften it. The porridge is bland, extremely bland. You eat it anyway because you're starving and because complaining isn't an option. The reader begins. Brother Lector again, different text. Today it's from the lives of the Desert Fathers. Stories of early monks in Egypt and Syria who lived in caves, ate locusts, fought demons. Compared to them, you've got it easy. That's the point. The reading is meant to inspire you, make you grateful, make you try harder. You listen while you eat. The story's about St. Anthony. He went into the desert for 20 years, saw visions, battled Satan directly, came out holier. The details are wild, demons appearing as beautiful women, as fellow monks, as Christ himself. Anthony supposedly knew because real visions smelled like flowers and felt peaceful, while demonic ones smelled like sulfur and brought fear. You wonder if anyone's actually smelled sulfur. Probably not, but it makes for good storytelling. The porridge is gone. You didn't taste it really, just shoveled it in. The bread's gone too. You're still hungry, but that's normal. You're always a little hungry. Medieval monks were basically in a permanent state of mild starvation. Not enough to harm you, just enough to keep you humble, focused, less distracted by physical comfort. Brother Lector continues. Now it's St. Simeon Stylites, who lived on top of a pillar for 37 years. Stood up there, praying, preaching to crowds below. Never came down. That's dedication, or insanity, or both. You glance around the refectory. 40 men eating in silence, listening to stories of ancient monks. The similarity isn't lost on anyone. You're trying to imitate them, to follow their example. 12th century Cistercians trying to recreate 4th century Egyptian monasticism in a European valley. It's absurd, kind of, but it's also your entire life. The meal ends, you're not full. Fullness isn't really the goal. Sustenance is. Enough to keep working, keep praying, keep going. Everyone stands. Grace again. Thanks for the food. Out into the cloister. Now comes scriptorium work. This is where you spend most afternoons, but today you're assigned morning hours. The schedule rotates, keeps things varied, prevents anyone from getting too attached to one task. The scriptorium is on the second floor of the south range. You climb the stairs, different stairs from the dormitory, stone but narrower. The scriptorium is a long room with windows on both sides for maximum light. Desks line the walls. Each monk has a designated spot. Yours is third from the door. The desk is angled, slanted toward you. There's a shelf underneath for supplies. A cushion on the stool, the only cushion you get all day. Scribes need to be comfortable. Can't copy manuscripts if your back's cramped. You sit. The stool's cold through your habit. Everything's cold. but your hands warm up fast once you start working. Brother Librarian oversees the scriptorium. He's ancient, maybe 60, and half blind, but his mind's sharp. He assigns the work. Today, you're finishing a psalter. You've been copying it for 3 months. Parchment's expensive, so you don't waste it. Every letter matters. Every word is checked. The manuscript you're copying from sits on a stand to your right. The new parchment is in front of you. You've already ruled it. Horizontal lines in lead point to keep your writing straight. The margins are marked. Everything's measured, precise. You pick up your quill. Goose feather, the shaft cut and shaped. The nib is sharp, fresh. You trimmed it yesterday. It'll last maybe a week before it needs replacing. The ink is oak gall ink, made from wasp galls, iron sulfate, and gum arabic. Brother Cook makes it. He handles food and ink both, weirdly enough. The recipe's been the same for centuries. The ink's black, permanent. It'll last longer than you will, longer than the monastery will. That's the point. You're making something eternal. You dip the quill, shake off excess ink, touch nib to parchment. The first letter is a capital B, Beatus, blessed, beginning of Psalm 1. You've written this word dozens of times. Your hand knows the motion. Down, curve, curve again, serif. The black ink flows steady and even. Medieval scribes developed thousands of different handwriting styles. You're using Carolingian minuscule, clear, readable, standardized. It was basically the Times New Roman of the medieval world, practical. Some monasteries used Gothic script, all sharp angles and compressed letters. Looks impressive, harder to read. The Cistercians preferred clarity, letter by letter, word by word. Beatus vir qui non abiit in concilio impiorum. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked. Your hand moves steadily. The quill scratches. It's the only sound besides breathing and the occasional cough. Brother Andrew, 2 desks down, is illuminating a gospel, adding gold leaf and coloured pigments to decorated capitals. That's specialised work. You're not trained for it. You just copy text. Black letters on cream parchment, hour after hour, day after day. Your back starts to ache. The stool's not that comfortable, cushion or not. You shift position, keep writing. This is meditative too, in its way, different from the garden work. Your mind can wander while your hand keeps moving. The muscle memory takes over. You think about nothing, about everything. About the psalm you're copying and what it means, or doesn't mean. The light shifts, sun moving across the sky. Brother Librarian walks between the desks, checking work. He stops at your shoulder, leans in, studies what you've written, nods, moves on. Approval, silent and brief. An hour passes. Your hand cramps. You flex your fingers, shake them out. Dip the quill again, continue. The page is maybe 1/3 complete. Tomorrow you'll finish it, start the next one. There are 150 psalms. You're on Psalm 47. The bell rings, sext, midday office. You clean your quill carefully, wipe the nib, set it down, cap the ink. Can't waste ink. Brother Librarian watches everyone, makes sure all materials are properly stored. Down the stairs, into the chapel, your stool. Stand. The routine never changes. Deus in adiutorium meum intende. The psalms begin again, midday psalms. You've been awake for 10 hours. You have 9 more to go. Sext is the 6th hour, noon. The sun's at its highest point, though in January that doesn't mean much warmth. The chapel's bright at least, light streaming through the windows, making the dust motes visible. You watch them drift during the responsory, tiny specks floating. 3 psalms again. These are shorter offices, terce, sext, none. Just interruptions in the workday, really. Reminders that prayer comes first, that labour is secondary. The chanting continues. your voice blends. You're not thinking about the words anymore. You're thinking about the page you were working on, about whether you formed that capital letter correctly, whether the spacing was even. This is what happens after years of this. The offices become automatic. Your mouth moves, the Latin comes out, but your mind is somewhere else. Is that prayer, technically? The Desert Fathers would say no. They'd say you need to pray with your whole being, full attention, total focus. But the Desert Fathers didn't chant 8 offices a day, every single day, for years. They'd probably understand. The office ends. Now comes the main meal. Dinner, though it's noon. The biggest meal of the day, relatively speaking. Back to the refectory. Same seats, same grace. The food comes. Today, it's better than usual. Lentil stew. Actual vegetables, onions, carrots, leeks, bread again, and fish. It's Friday, so meat is forbidden, but fish is allowed. The theological distinction between fish and meat has never made sense to you, but you're not arguing, you're eating. The fish is pike from the monastery fish pond. They stock it, harvest it. It's fresh, or fresh enough. Boiled, no seasoning beyond salt, still better than oats. The reader begins. Different text today. St. Augustine's Confessions. You're somewhere in Book 7, the part where Augustine's wrestling with sin and philosophy and his own willful blindness. Heavy stuff. Brother Lecter reads it well, though. His voice makes even Augustine's dense theological arguments sound almost interesting. You eat slowly, make it last. The stew's hot, which is nice, warms you from the inside. The vegetables are soft, almost mush. Medieval cooking wasn't about texture, it was about not starving. Brother Thomas, across from you, eats mechanically. He looks tired. Everyone looks tired. That's just the baseline state. You're all exhausted all the time. Sleep deprivation is baked into the schedule. 2 hours after midnight, maybe an hour and a half after Lord's, then you're up until Compline at 7. That's maybe 6 or 7 hours total, broken into chunks. Modern science would say that's unhealthy. Medieval theology says it's holy. The reading continues. Augustine's talking about time now, how the past doesn't exist and the future doesn't exist, and only the present is real. But the present is constantly vanishing, so does time exist at all? You think about the hours you've spent in this refectory. Where did they go? They happened. You lived them. But they're gone now. Might as well have never been. The meal ends. You're fuller than you were at breakfast. Still not full, but closer. Grace. Stand. File out. Now comes the afternoon work period, longer than the morning. 4 hours straight, from after sext until none. The abbot assigns tasks. You're back in the scriptorium, up the stairs again. Your seat, the manuscript, the quill. You settle in, dip the quill, start writing. The afternoon light is different from morning light, warmer, more golden. It slants across your desk. You have to angle the parchment to avoid glare. The psalm you're copying is Psalm 48. Great is the Lord and greatly to be praised in the city of our God. You write it out, letter by letter, black ink on cream parchment, permanent. This book will outlive you, will outlive your children, if you'd had any, will sit in a library somewhere, if the monastery survives, if the book survives, and maybe someone in the 21st century will see it, will see your handwriting, will wonder who you were. You're nobody really, a monk, one of thousands. You'll die and be buried in the monastery cemetery, and within a generation, nobody will remember your name. That's the point. Humility, anonymity, the death of ego. But this book will last. Your hand moves steadily. The muscle memory is deep now. You don't think about letter formation. Don't think about spacing. It just happens. Your mind drifts. You think about home, your father's estate. You haven't been there in 6 years. Don't know if you'll ever go back. Stability, one of your vows, means you stay put. Some monks never leave the monastery from the day they enter until the day they die. Never see another town, never travel. Just these walls, this valley, forever. Is that depressing? Maybe. Or maybe it's freeing. No choices to make. No wondering what you're missing. This is your life. Accept it. The quill scratches. Brother Andrew at his desk is mixing pigments, grinding minerals with mortar and pestle. Red from cinnabar, blue from lapis lazuli, expensive, imported from Afghanistan. The monastery's wealthy enough to afford it. Some monasteries aren't. Some scribes have never worked with lapis blue. Gold leaf is even more expensive. Real gold, hammered thin, applied with egg white. Brother Andrew's current project has gold capitals on every page. Must be a commission. Some nobleman paying for a deluxe gospel book. The monastery needs the income. You need to eat. 2 hours pass. Your back's killing you. Scribes developed chronic pain, occupational hazard. Brother Infirmarian has tinctures for it. Willow bark mostly. Helps a little, not enough. You finish Psalm 48. Start Psalm 49. Hear this, all peoples, give ear, all inhabitants of the world. Who's going to read this? Some other monk, probably, chanting the Psalms in some other monastery. The book will circulate, will be used. That's comforting somehow. The light shifts, afternoon sliding toward evening. The shadows lengthen. You light a candle at your desk. Brother Librarian makes the rounds, lighting candles for everyone. Can't work in darkness. The candle helps, but it's not the same as daylight. Harder to see fine detail. You slow down, focus harder. Can't make mistakes. Parchment's too expensive to waste. Brother Martin, oldest scribe in the room, sets down his quill, flexes his hand. His fingers are gnarled with arthritis. He's been copying manuscripts for 40 years. 4 decades of this. You've got decades ahead of you, potentially, if you don't die young. Plenty of monks do. Fever, infection, accidents. Life expectancy isn't great. The bell rings. None. The 9th hour. 3 in the afternoon. You clean your quill, cap the ink, down the stairs, the chapel, your stool. Stand. Deus in adiutorium meum intende. 3 more psalms, a hymn, prayers. The office is brief. The afternoon light through the windows is pure gold now. Beautiful. You let yourself notice it. Let yourself feel it. Small mercy in a hard day. The office ends. Back to work. 1 more hour in the scriptorium. You climb the stairs. Sit. The candle's still burning at your desk. You pick up the quill. Psalm 49 continues. Like sheep they are appointed for Sheol. Death shall be their shepherd. Cheerful stuff. The Psalms don't shy away from darkness, from death, from enemies, from suffering. That's weirdly comforting. God can handle your darkness. Doesn't need you to pretend everything's fine. The final hour is the hardest. You're tired. Your hand hurts. Your eyes are strained. The candle flickers, makes the letters dance on the page. But you keep going, because that's the job. Perseverance, discipline. These are monastic virtues. You develop them or you leave. Some novices can't handle it. They're gone within months. You stayed. 6 years now. It's your life. Finally, the bell for Vespers, evening prayer. You set down the quill. Brother Librarian checks your work, nods. You've completed 2 full pages today. Tomorrow you'll do 2 more, and the next day, until it's done. Then another project, always another project. Down the stairs, through the cloister. The sun's low now, touching the horizon. The sky's going orange and purple, spectacular. You pause, just a moment, to look at it. Brother Thomas pauses too. You don't speak, just stand together, watching the sunset. silent appreciation. Then the bell rings again and you go inside. The chapel's darker now, more candles lit. Vespers is the evening office. The day's winding down. You find your stall, stand. The abbot enters. Deus in adiutorium meum intende. The psalms begin. Evening psalms. These are longer. Vespers is a major office. The chanting fills the chapel. Voices rising and falling. Outside the light is fading. Inside the candles burn steady. This is beautiful, actually, if you let it be. The music, the ritual, the rhythm. You've done this thousands of times, but it's not boring. Not exactly. It's reliable, constant. In a changing world, plague, war, famine, this remains. These prayers, this schedule, this order. The Magnificat, Mary's song. My soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God, my Saviour. The whole community chants it. The melody soars. You're not thinking about God, honestly. You're thinking about dinner, when you'll eat, what it'll be. Your stomach's growling again, but your voice keeps singing. That's the discipline. Body and mind can be somewhere else. Voice keeps going. Duty over feeling. The office ends. One more to go. Compline. But first, a short break. 30 minutes. You go to the lavatorium, the washing station. Rinse your hands and face in cold water. It jolts you awake. The water's ice cold, makes your skin sting. Other monks are there. Brother Andrew, Brother Martin. Nobody talks. The day's almost over. Everyone's exhausted. You dry your hands on your scapula, head back to the cloister, sit on a bench. Just sit. Rest. The stars are coming out. Same stars you saw this morning at Vigils. Full circle. The bell rings. Compline. The final office. The day's end. Everyone files into the chapel, but this time it's different. Darker. Only a few candles lit. The shadows are deep. Compline is quieter than the other offices, more solemn. It's the last thing before sleep, the last prayer before the great silence resumes. You stand in your stool. The abbot enters. Deus in adiutorium meum intende. But the response is softer this time, almost whispered. Domine, ad adiuvandum me festina. The psalms are bedtime psalms. Psalm 4, in peace I will both lie down and sleep. Psalm 91, he will cover you with his pinions, and under his wings you will find refuge. Protective psalms, guardian psalms, the kind you'd pray before sleeping. The office is brief, no readings, just psalms and prayers. The Nunc Dimittis, Simeon's song. Now you are dismissing your servant, O Lord, according to your word, in peace. He's ready to die. He's seen what he needed to see. It's a strange song for bedtime, but it fits. Release, letting go. The final blessing. May the all-powerful Lord grant us a restful night and a peaceful death. Peaceful death. They remind you every night. You could die in your sleep. Anyone could. Be ready. Everyone exits in silence. The great silence has resumed. No talking until after prime tomorrow morning. Hours of complete silence. Through the cloister, up the dormitory stairs. 17 steps, worn smooth. The dormitory's completely dark. No candles allowed. Fire risk. You find your bed by feel. Same bed, same straw mattress. You remove your sandals, the scapula. Fold it, place it at the foot of the bed. You sleep in your tunic. Everyone does. It's too cold not to. Lie down. The straw crackles. Pull the blanket up. It's thin, rough wool. Barely helps. Around you, 40 monks settling in. The sounds of bodies shifting. Someone coughs. Someone else's breathing deepens quickly, already asleep. You're exhausted, but your mind's still going, reviewing the day, the work you did, the prayers you said, the food you ate. All of it routine. All of it the same as yesterday, the same as tomorrow will be. This is your life, every day, for years, for decades potentially, until you die. Is it meaningful? You're not sure. Copying manuscripts preserves knowledge. That matters. The prayers, maybe they matter. Maybe God hears them, maybe not. You're too tired to think about theology. Your body aches. Back, shoulders, hands. The familiar aches. You shift position. The straw pokes through the mattress. You ignore it. Outside, distantly, an owl calls. Monks aren't the only ones awake at strange hours. The whole world has its rhythms. Owls hunt at night. Monks pray at night. Different purposes, same darkness. Your breathing slows. Sleep's coming. Finally. You think about tomorrow. It'll be the same. Vigils at 2. Lauds at 3:30. Chapter. Work. Offices. Meals. Work. Vespers. Compline. Sleep. The same. Forever. But there's something in that sameness. Something stable. The world outside these walls is chaos. War. Disease. Uncertainty. Inside, there's order. Routine. Safety of a kind. You chose this, sort of. Your father chose it, but you stayed. You could have left. Some do. You haven't. Sleep pulls you under. The last thought you have is about the psalm you are copying. Great is the Lord and greatly to be praised. Is he? You're not sure. But you'll copy the words anyway. You'll wake up in 2 hours and pray them anyway. That's faith, maybe. Not certainty. Just showing up. Day after day. Saying the words, doing the work. The darkness is complete. The silence is total. You sleep. 2 a.m. The bell. Again. You surface from deep sleep, disoriented for a moment. Then the familiar cold, the familiar routine. Feet to floor, sandals, scapula. Down the stairs, the cloister, the stars, the chapel, your stall. Stand, wait. The abbot enters. Domine, labia mea aperies, et os meum annuntiabit laudem tuam. The psalms begin. You're so tired that you're singing from pure muscle memory. Your consciousness is somewhere else, floating. The Latin flows without thought. Halfway through Psalm 19, you realize you haven't processed a single word. You've been chanting for 15 minutes on autopilot. Your mind was completely blank. Is that meditation? Probably not, just exhaustion. You try to focus. The heavens declare the glory of God. The firmament proclaims his handiwork. Look at the heavens, through the windows. Stars. They're beautiful, actually. You don't usually notice. The office continues. An hour of psalms, readings, hymns. Your knees hurt from standing. You shift weight from foot to foot. Subtle. Nobody notices. Finally, it ends. Back to bed. 1 hour until Lauds. You lie down. Your body's wired now, too awake. Sleep doesn't come immediately. You lie there in the darkness, listening to 40 men breathing. This is the hardest part sometimes. The broken sleep, the constant interruption. Your body never fully rests. Even when you sleep, you're tense, anticipating the bell. But eventually exhaustion wins. You drift off. The bell. Lauds, 3:30. Same routine, same psalms. The darkness outside is absolute. No hint of dawn yet. You stand in your stool, swaying slightly. Brother Andrew next to you is definitely asleep on his feet. Eyes closed, head nodding. He'll snap awake if he starts to fall. Survival instinct. The psalms end, prime follows. No break between them. The sky through the windows starts to lighten, imperceptibly at first, then more obvious. Grey, then lighter grey. Chapter meeting. The stone bench is cold. The reading from the rule is about silence. Ironic, since that's the one thing you've all mastered. Confession of faults. Brother Peter admits to pride. He thought his illumination work was better than Brother Andrew's. Brother Stephen confesses to gluttony. He took a second helping of bread yesterday. Small sins, human failures. The abbot speaks about humility, about how all gifts come from God, how pride is the root of all sin. You've heard this before, many times. It's true, probably, but also repetitive. Work assignments. You're on kitchen duty today. Brother Cook's domain. The kitchen is behind the refectory. Stone walls, massive fireplace, long tables for food preparation. Brother Cook is already there when you arrive. He's been up since midnight, started the porridge for breakfast. Your job is to help with dinner preparation, chopping vegetables mostly. There's a pile of leeks on the table, carrots, onions. You get a knife, iron blade, wooden handle, and start chopping. The kitchen's warmer than the rest of the monastery. The fireplace is massive, always has something cooking. Right now it's stock for the stew, bones and herbs simmering in a pot. The smell is actually good, rich, savoury. Brother Cook doesn't talk. He communicates through gestures and grunts. Points at the leeks. You chop them. Points at the pot. You scrape the chopped vegetables into it. Simple, efficient. Kitchen work is different from garden work or scriptorium work. More immediate. You see the results quickly. You chop vegetables, they go in the pot. Later, people eat them. Direct cause and effect. Your hands smell like onions. Strong. The smell won't wash off easily. You'll smell like onions at Vespers, at Compline, in bed tonight. Medieval life was full of smells. Body odour, smoke, cooking food, animal waste. You're nose-blind to most of it now. The morning passes. Terse interrupts the work. You wash your hands, go to chapel, chant 3 psalms, return. Back to chopping. Breakfast is brief. Porridge again. You eat it standing up in the kitchen. Brother Cook eats too. Nobody sits. Too much to do. After breakfast, more preparation. The fish needs cleaning. Pike from the pond, like yesterday. You scale them, gut them, rinse them in cold water. Your hands are freezing. The fish guts are slimy. This is glamorous monastic life right here. Brother Cook throws the guts into a bucket for the pigs. Nothing gets wasted. The monastery is basically a closed system. Everything gets used, recycled, composted. Sext, chapel, psalms. Back to the kitchen. Now comes the actual cooking. Brother Cook tends the fire. You help carry pots, stir things, add ingredients when he indicates. He's been doing this for 20 years, knows exactly how long everything needs, how much salt, how much water. The dinner comes together. Lentil stew, fish, bread. Same as yesterday, basically. Medieval cuisine wasn't about variety, it was about not starving. The bread comes from Brother Baker. He has a separate building, the bakehouse, because fire risk. Bakes bread every day. Massive loaves, dark rye, heavy and dense. It's still warm when he brings it to the kitchen. Mealtime. You help serve. Carry pots to the refectory. Ladle stew into wooden bowls. Distribute fish. Everyone's silent. You're silent, just working. Then you eat, finally. Sit down, same spot. The stew's hot. Good. You made this. There's pride in that, small pride. The leeks you chopped, the carrots. Here they are, feeding people. The reader reads. You listen while eating. The food's gone too fast, always too fast. After dinner, clean up. Washing pots in cold water. scrubbing tables, sweeping floors. Brother Cook is meticulous. Everything has to be clean, ready for tomorrow. This takes hours. By the time you're done, it's mid-afternoon. None comes and goes. You're still in the kitchen. Finally released. Brother Cook nods. You're done. You bow, respectful acknowledgement, and leave. Your hands are red and chapped. Your back aches. Different ache from scriptorium work. More physical, but satisfying somehow. You fed 40 people. That matters. Free time until Vespers. Not much of it. Maybe an hour. You go to the cloister, sit on a bench, just exist. Other monks are there. Some reading, personal prayer books, Bibles. Some just sitting. Everyone's tired. Everyone's taking advantage of the rare break. You close your eyes. Not sleeping, just resting. The sun's warm on your face. Winter sun, weak but present. Your mind wanders. You think about nothing specific, just drift. This is the closest you get to meditation, probably. Not forced, not structured, just being. The hour passes, the bell rings, Vespers. Into the chapel, your stall, the evening office. The psalms sound different today, maybe because you're less exhausted, maybe because you noticed the sunset earlier. Whatever the reason, the chanting feels meaningful. The words land. I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. You believe that, kind of, or you want to. Help would be nice. God helping. Visible, tangible help. But that's not how it works. The help, if it exists, is subtle, internal. Strength to continue, patience, endurance, not dramatic, not obvious. The office ends, short break, then Compline, the final office, the quiet prayers, the bedtime psalms. In peace I will both lie down and sleep, for you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. Safety. These walls, this routine, this community. It's safety in a way. Not comfort, but safety. The blessing. May the all-powerful Lord grant us a restful night and a peaceful death. Up the stairs, into bed, the straw, the thin blanket. Tomorrow you'll wake up at 2. Do it all again. The same routine, the same prayers. Different work maybe, but the structure stays constant. You close your eyes. Sleep comes faster tonight. You worked hard. Physical labor. Your body's spent. The darkness closes in. The great silence holds. 40 men sleeping, or trying to. You sleep. Days blur together. 1 week becomes 2, becomes a month. The routine doesn't change. Vigils, Lords, Prime, Chapter, work. Terce, work. Sext, dinner, work. Nun, work. Vespers, Compline, sleep. Repeat. It's February now, still cold. Snow comes, melts, comes again. The bean field is frozen solid. Garden work shifts to indoor tasks. Repairing tools, mending fences, maintenance work. You're back in the scriptorium most days. The Psalter is finished. Started a new project, copying Jerome's Vulgate. The whole Bible. This will take years. Multiple scribes working in parallel. You're assigned the book of Exodus. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Wait, wrong book. That's Genesis. Brother Andrew's doing Genesis. You start Exodus. These are the names of the sons of Israel who came to Egypt with Jacob, each with his household. The work is meditative. Hours pass. Your hand moves. The letters appear. Black ink on parchment. Permanent. Outside the window, snow falls. Silent. You watch it between words. White flakes against grey sky. Beautiful. You allow yourself to notice beauty now. Small moments. It helps. The monastery's quieter in winter. Fewer visitors. The guest house is mostly empty. Just the community, 40 monks, the abbot, the routine. Some days are harder than others. Today's hard. You're tired. The cumulative exhaustion is catching up. 6 years of broken sleep, of cold, of hunger. Your body's wearing down. During none, you sway on your feet, almost fall. Catch yourself. Brother Thomas glances at you, concerned. You're fine. You signal fine with a hand gesture. He nods. After none, the abbot calls you aside, uses the sign for speak, finger to lips, then away. Permission to talk. Brother, are you well? His voice is soft, genuinely concerned. Yes, Father, just tired. We're all tired, but you looked unsteady at none. I'm fine, Father, truly. He studies you. His eyes are kind. Old eyes, tired eyes. He carries a lot. Brother Infirmarian can give you something, for sleep. No need, Father, I'm fine. He nods. If you need rest, tell me. Pride isn't virtue. You bow. He's right. Pride is your weakness. Admitting struggle feels like failure, but maybe it's just honesty. He blesses you, dismisses you. You go back to the scriptorium. The work continues. Exodus, the plagues, the Passover, the exodus from Egypt. Story of liberation. You're copying it, but not living it. You're not enslaved. You chose this, sort of. Days pass. The snow melts. Early spring arrives. Tiny green shoots in the garden, signs of life. The monastery comes alive too. Gardens need planting. Fields need preparing. Work intensifies. You're back outside, spade in hand, turning soil. The earth smells rich, alive. After winter's deadness, this is resurrection. Brother Thomas works beside you. He's slower this year, older, 46 now. His hair's going grey, lines around his eyes. You're 20, still young, but you feel old, tired. Is this sustainable? Decades more of this? Some monks live to 70. Brother Martin's still copying manuscripts, still showing up for vigils. 40 years of this routine. It's possible, but it's hard. Nobody pretends otherwise. Holy Week comes, the most intense week of the year. Extra offices, extra prayers. Maundy Thursday, washing feet. Good Friday, prostration, silence, the cross. Holy Saturday, waiting. Easter Sunday, resurrection, alleluias, joy. The joy feels forced. You're too tired for joy, but you participate, sing the hymns, celebrate, because that's the job. Easter dinner is special. White bread, cheese, eggs, actual luxuries. Your stomach isn't used to rich food. You eat carefully, small bites. The reader is silent today. Everyone can talk. It's strange. 40 voices, conversation, laughter even. Brother Andrew tells a joke. It's not funny, but everyone laughs. The relief of sound, of community. But the next day, back to silence, back to routine. Easter's over, normal life resumes. More weeks. Spring becomes summer. The days lengthen. Vigils starts later, more daylight hours, later darkness. The schedule adjusts, slightly. The garden flourishes, beans climbing poles, peas flowering, lettuce, onions. Real food, fresh food. Dinner improves dramatically. Your body feels better. The sun helps. Vitamin D, though you don't know that term. You just know you feel stronger, more alert. Summer scriptorium work is pleasant, warm, light through the windows. No candles needed until late evening. You're deep into Exodus, the law, commandments, regulations about sacrifices, about cleanliness, about justice. Page after page of rules. Medieval monks loved rules, structure, order. This text speaks to you. One afternoon, Brother Librarian approaches. "Brother, the abbot wants to see you." Your stomach drops. Did you do something wrong? Infraction you forgot? You go to the abbot's office, knock, enter. He's at his desk, looks up. "Brother, sit." You sit, stone stool, cold even in summer. "You've been here 6 years now." "Yes, Father." Brother Librarian says your copying is excellent, careful, clean. "Thank you, Father. I'm assigning you a special project, a commissioned gospel book, full illumination, gold leaf. It's important, expensive. Can you handle it?" Your heart races. This is an honor, major responsibility. I'm not trained in illumination, Father." "Brother Andrew will teach you. You'll work together. This project will take a year, maybe 2. It's a significant commission. The patron is wealthy. We need the income." You nod. "I'll do my best, Father." "I know you will. Begin tomorrow." You bow, leave. Your mind's spinning. Illumination, gold leaf, color. This is advancement, recognition. That night at Compline, you can't focus. Too excited, too nervous. But the next morning, Vigils, Lords, Prime, Chapter. You're in the scriptorium early. Brother Andrew's waiting. "Ready to learn?" he asks. "Yes." He smiles. "Good. This is the best part of the job. Let me show you." Learning illumination changes everything. Suddenly the work is creative. Not just copying black letters, you're mixing colors, grinding pigments, laying gold leaf. Brother Andrew is patient, meticulous. He shows you how to mix egg tempera, egg yolk and pigment, how to grind minerals with mortar and pestle, how to apply gold leaf with egg white, burnish it with a smooth stone until it shines. The gospel book is magnificent. Vellum, calfskin, finer than parchment, smooth, perfect. Each page is measured precisely. The text margins are wide, room for decoration. You're doing borders, intricate designs, vines, leaves, flowers, red and blue and green and gold. It's tedious. Every line must be perfect, but it's beautiful. You're creating beauty. Hours pass in the scriptorium. You barely notice. You're absorbed, focused. This is flow state, though you don't have that term, just complete immersion. The routine continues around you. Offices, meals, sleep. But the work is different now. You look forward to it. Wake up thinking about which page you'll work on, which colors you'll mix. Summer passes, fall arrives, the leaves change. The garden harvest is abundant. You eat well, feel strong. The gospel book progresses, page by page. Matthew's gospel. You're doing the genealogy page, intricate border, each name in the lineage of Christ. Jesus, son of David, son of Abraham. Back and back through generations. Your hand is steady, years of practice. The letter forms are precise, the gold gleams. Brother Andrew works beside you. He's doing the major illuminations, full-page miniatures, the Annunciation, the Nativity, the Crucifixion. Tiny figures, incredibly detailed. He works with a magnifying glass, glass lens, wood frame, makes the small work visible. You watch him sometimes, learn technique, how he layers colors, how he creates depth, shadow, light. It's art, true art. Winter comes again. Year 7 in the monastery. You're 21, still young, less tired now. The work sustains you. Vigils is still brutal. 2 in the morning, every morning. That never gets easier. But you've accepted it. This is life. No point resisting. The prayers still feel automatic sometimes. But occasionally, rarely, they break through. A phrase hits you, means something. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord. Yeah, you know depths. Everyone here does. Or, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You want plenty. Food, warmth, comfort, rest. But the prayer isn't about elimination of desire. It's about trust, about enoughness. Maybe. You're not a theologian, just a monk, a scribe, an illuminator now, technically. You do the work, say the prayers, trust that it means something. The gospel book continues, month after month. It's slow work. Illumination can't be rushed. One page might take a week. Gold leaf application alone takes hours. But it's worth it. The book is stunning. Everyone knows it. Brother librarian comes by, marvels at it. The abbot visits, nods approval. This will bring the monastery prestige, income, reputation. Spring arrives, year 8. You're deep into Mark's gospel, the shorter gospel. More action, less discourse. You prefer it. The illumination for the transfiguration is complex. Jesus, Moses, Elijah, all in white and gold, shining. Brother Andrew sketches it. You'll help with the background. Mountains, sky, clouds. It takes 3 weeks. But when it's finished, it's radiant. Literally. The gold catches light, glows. This is why medieval books were considered sacred objects. They're not just text, they're light made visible. Summer, year 8. You're 22, been here since you were 14. More than a quarter of your life. This is who you are now. A monk, a scribe, an illuminator. The routine is automatic, muscle memory. You don't think about it, just do it. Vigils, lauds, prime, work, terce, work, sext, dinner, work, nun, work, vespers, compline, sleep. But the work itself is fulfilling now, creating something beautiful, something permanent. The gospel book is nearly done. Luke, John, the final pages, the resurrection, Jesus ascending, the clouds receiving him. Brother Andrew paints it, you do the border, gold and blue, heaven colours. When it's finished, 2 years of work, you both stand back, look at it, the entire book, 4 Gospels, illuminated, perfect. Brother Andrew speaks, rare for him. We did this. We did. It'll outlast us. Yes, that's something. It is. In a life defined by sameness, by routine, by death of self, you've created something, left a mark. Not your name. The book won't say who illuminated it, but you'll know. And God knows, maybe. That's enough. Years continue. The routine never changes. But you change. Grow older, more settled, more at peace. You're 30 now. 16 years in the monastery. Half your life. Brother Thomas died 2 years ago. Fever. He was 51. Not old, but medieval life. You miss him, his steady presence, working beside him in the garden. But missing is part of it. Everyone dies. You'll die. The monastery continues. New novices arrive. Teenagers, wide-eyed, scared. You were them once. Now you're senior. Not old, but experienced. You teach them, show them the routine, the signs, the prayers. You're master of the scriptorium now. Brother librarian died last year. The abbot appointed you. More responsibility. You oversee the copying, assign projects, check work. It's good work, important. Books spread knowledge, preserve it. Monasteries are basically the only publishers in medieval Europe. You're part of that, keeper of learning. The routine continues. Vigils, lauds, prime, chapter, work, terce, work, sext, dinner, work, nun, work, vespers, compline, sleep. You're used to the broken sleep now, your body adjusted. 2 hours, then up, then 90 minutes, then up for the day. It's enough. You function. The prayers are deep in your bones. The Latin flows without thought. But sometimes, often now, you mean it. The words connect. You're praying, actually praying. O God, come to my assistance. O Lord, make haste to help me. You need help. Everyone does. The prayer isn't automatic anymore. It's genuine, desperate sometimes. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord. You've been in depths. Depression, doubt, despair. Monks get all of it. The Desert Fathers called it acedia, soul weariness, the noonday demon. You fought it. Some days you lose. Lie in bed after compline, staring into darkness, wondering what the point is. But then Vigils comes. The bell rings. You get up. Because that's the commitment. Show up. Do the work. Trust that meaning exists even when you can't feel it. And sometimes, rarely but real, you do feel it. Peace, connection, something beyond yourself. It happens during Vespers one evening, early fall. The light through the windows is gold. The chanting rises. Suddenly, you're not just saying words. You're part of something. The community, the tradition. Centuries of monks saying these same prayers. You're connected, held. It doesn't last. The feeling fades. But it was real, and it'll come again. Occasionally, enough to sustain you. You're 35 now. The abbot is old, 80-something, failing. Everyone knows. He'll die soon. When he does, peacefully in his sleep after compline, the community elects a new abbot. The process takes weeks. Deliberation, prayer, voting. They elect you. You're shocked. 35. Relatively young for an abbot. But you've been here 21 years. You know the routine, the rule. The community trusts you. You accept. Because that's obedience. You didn't ask for this, but the community needs leadership. Being abbot changes everything. Now you're responsible. For 40 souls, for the monastery's survival, for maintaining the routine, the tradition. It's heavy. You lie awake some nights, during that hour and a half between vigils and lauds, thinking about decisions, about monks who are struggling, about finances, about repairs needed on aging buildings. But you also have authority. You can shape things, make the routine more sustainable, more humane. You adjust the schedule slightly. Vigils at 2:30 instead of 2. Small change, but it gives everyone 30 extra minutes of unbroken sleep. Makes a difference. You're gentler with confessions of faults. Assign reasonable penances. You remember what it felt like to be exhausted, desperate, failing. The community responds. Morale improves. Not dramatically, but noticeably. Years pass. You're 40, then 45. Grey in your beard, lines around your eyes. Your body aches. The cumulative toll of years of physical labor, cold, broken sleep. But you're alive, still here, still showing up for vigils, still chanting psalms. New young monks arrive. You teach them. This is hard, you tell them. It doesn't get easier, but it gets worthwhile. Give it time. Some stay, some leave. You don't judge the ones who leave. This life isn't for everyone. You're 50 now, 36 years in the monastery, the abbot for 15 years. The routine is automatic, so deep in your body that you could do it unconscious. Wake up, chapel, pray, work, eat, pray, sleep, repeat. But it's not empty, not meaningless. You've built a life here, created beauty, Those illuminated manuscripts taught generations of scribes, maintained a community. This is legacy, not fame, not wealth, but continuity, preservation. The monastery existed before you, will exist after. You're a link in the chain. One evening at Vespers, winter, snow falling outside, you're chanting. Psalm 84. How lovely is your dwelling place, O Lord of hosts. My soul longs, indeed it faints for the courts of the Lord. And you realize, this is true. These walls, this chapel, this community, this routine, you love it. Despite everything, the cold, the exhaustion, the hardship, you love it. It's home. The only home you've known for 36 years, and you're grateful. The psalm continues. Blessed are those who dwell in your house, ever singing your praise. You're blessed. You know it. In a hard life, in a brutal time, you're blessed. The office ends. Compline follows. The final prayers of the day. In peace I will both lie down and sleep. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. You're safe here, always have been. The walls protect. The routine sustains. The community holds. Up the stairs, into bed, the straw mattress, the thin blanket. But it's enough. Tomorrow you'll wake up at 2:30. The bell will ring. You'll rise, go to chapel, chant psalms, work, eat, pray, sleep. The routine continues, forever, until you die. And that's okay. It's good, even. This is your life, your calling, your home. You close your eyes. The darkness is complete. The great silence holds. 40 monks sleeping, or trying to. The monastery breathing. In, out. In, out. You sleep. The candles burn lower now, the shadows settling into corners, into the worn grooves between stones. Outside, the snow continues, soft, persistent, a slow burial of everything sharp. Inside, the silence thickens, becomes something you could almost rest against. The offices will come again tomorrow, the same bells, the same psalms, the words worn smooth from centuries of repetition. But for now, there's this, the quiet between prayers, the space where exhaustion becomes something like peace. Your breathing slows, matching the rhythm you've learned over years. In on 3 counts, out on 4. The meditation hidden inside necessity. Somewhere a door closes, far off, the sound muffled by distance and snow and time. The monastery sleeps. Not easily, never easily, but completely. 40 men in narrow beds, their dreams tangled with Latin phrases and tomorrow's work and memories of lives they left behind or never had. This is the routine. Wake, pray, work, eat, pray, sleep. Again and again. Until it's not endurance anymore, just existence. The only existence that makes sense. The bell will ring in a few hours, but not yet, not yet. For now, there's darkness and cold, and the particular comfort of knowing exactly what comes next. Always, forever, the same. Let the snow fall, let the night deepen, let the silence hold you. There's nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do. Just this, just breathing, just being here, in this moment, in this ancient pattern. The monastery stands, has stood for centuries, will stand for centuries more, God willing. You're part of that now, part of the walls, the prayers, the endless rhythm. It's enough, more than enough. It's everything. Close your eyes. The darkness is complete, the silence infinite. Sleep now. The bell will come soon enough. It always does. But not yet. Not yet.